Hello my art friends! I have another brush review for you today. My wonderful friends at Golden Maple sent me a new set of brushes, and these are more for detailed work, which I don't have that many brushes for detailed work. Of course, I'm going to have everything linked down below if you are interested in purchasing these yourself, the price, all that good stuff. So let's just take a quick peek in here. Oh my goodness, look at all these. Yes, there's a whole bunch here. These are all very tiny. I see some flats, some rounds, some liners, a whole bunch of really good liner detailed brushes. I'm probably going to use these for acrylic because I don't really do that much detailed work in watercolor. But I am really lacking in the detailed acrylic brush department, so I welcome these so much. Let me flip you around and give you up-close pictures of each of these. Okay, let's look at these in better detail. Okay, it looks like we have 18 brushes. Let's just pick up one so we can investigate this a little farther. Let's take this off. Okay. Very tiny detail brush. Now it says Golden Maple on it, and this is a 2-0. These seem to be plastic with gold writing. Okay, nice. Let me take all, okay, this is even smaller, 3-/0. Ooh, that's a little guy. Let me take some of these plastic caps off so we can get a better look. Okay, so we're going to get up close, and I put something white behind here so you could see. Their numbering system is a little strange on these. So this is our largest one, and it says it's a 2. Okay, this is a flat 2. Now we have a 1 that appears to have an angle to it. Now we have 2 zeros. But if you look, this one is angled, this one is flat, but these are both 2 different sizes, not like they're both this size and just one's angled. So this is thinner than that one, but they're both zeros. But these are all different. Now to further complicate, these are all round brushes with the same numbers. So we have a 2. We have 2 number 1s. And we have a 0. This is the 2, just barely bigger. I mean, you can barely tell this is a larger brush than these 2 number 1s. These look identical. And then the 0, just barely smaller. But since we have 2 number 1s, I'm going to put one of these over my watercolor brushes. Keep these for acrylics. Now this is where it gets a little crazy. We have a 2-0. And we have another 2-0. But these are 2 different sizes. We have a third 2-0 that's even smaller than these 2. We have a, which looks like a 1/2. I'm not really sure if that's what the numbering is, but a 1/2. It looks exactly the same as the 2. We have 2 3/0s. This one appears to be the shortest, tiniest one of the bunch. Then we have a 4, which is very long and thin. and then a 5/0, which you would assume is the smallest brush, but it's really not. This is the 3. So I'm going to put these 2 over in my watercolor brushes. We will keep these for my acrylics. Okay, here they are all lined up. They said the numbering system is very strange. I don't get it, but what I seem to have duplicates of, I put them out for my watercolor brushes. There are some very tiny brushes here for just minute little details, which is very nice. This one here is a little longer. Let's give these a little test run. All right, I'm going to turn it like this. All right, so I swatched out all of the brushes. Okay, so this is some things that I took away from it. Right, one of my favorites was this one right here, the 4-liner. It seemed to have, it was longer than the rest. It held more paint. By the way, I used gouache for all of these. Yeah, I really like this one. I think it could make an actual line, hold paint, and make some very nice small strokes. Another favorite was the half liner, or 1/2, I'm not sure. This made a lot of nice pointy strokes. Now, something else I wanted to talk about are both of these zeros. When I went to do my little swatches, there was definitely a difference. And that was, this is this brush in here. This 0 liner comes to a finer point. And I don't know if I can pick it up on the camera, but one comes to a finer point than the other, which you can tell in the swatch. So this one came to a finer point, didn't hold as much paint. This one is a little more round. I should have said a 0 round here, because I think that's more accurate of a description. They're both nice. It just depends on what you're up to. If you want very, very thin strokes, that 0 liner, the one that comes to more of a tip, is going to be what you want. But yeah, when I put these side by side, there was definitely a difference. They both have 0 on it, so I'm not sure how you're supposed to distinguish which one's which. Yep, this one's a round, this one's a liner. In my opinion, I don't know. Okay, so I have a project coming up. It's going to be an underwater acrylic painting. I'm going to do some studies. I'm going to do some corals. I'm going to do just some homework for the main event, because I think it's probably going to be about a month or 2 before I actually get to that project, but I want to demonstrate these brushes before then. So, all right, let's just do some studies with these brushes. Okay, I'm going to drop in a quick background. Like I said, we're going to be doing some studies for a bigger picture. I'm going to use another one of my golden maples, a number 10 flat, so I can get this wide area behind. These are all too small to do that. So I'm using gouache today. I've got my blues picked out. I'm just going to do this background really quick, speed it up, so we can get to using these brushes. All right, we're all dry, ready to rock here. I'm going to continue on with my gouache. And I'm just going to test out all these brushes and just pretty much make up some coral. I'm not particularly looking at anything. I'm just going to go ahead and paint and turn on some music for you. Okay, here's my finished piece. This was fun. Like I said, this was a warm-up to a bigger canvas painting I'm going to be doing. Now I used gouache for this. I will be using acrylic. But I mean, I think I've got the gist of how these brushes work. These are lovely. And like I said, I don't have too many small detail brushes like this. These are going to be great. I couldn't do this picture without these brushes. And I know that's a for sure. I could not do these little details without some of these brushes. Could I do most of it? Probably. But like these tiny little bubbles that I was trying to get details in, absolutely not. These brushes got small enough to do that. And that was the case on a lot of these things. Yes, you can use a bigger brush that comes to a very fine point to get details. But when you're working this small on little intricate corals that I think the details make a difference on coral, you need a small brush. And that's another reason why I'm going to be using these brushes for an undersea scape, because I'm going to need these little small detail brushes. All right, guys, I'm going to have all the information linked down below. I had some duplicates. Like I said, I'm going to put those in my watercolor area. And then these are going to be for acrylic, I think. So, I mean, you get a lot of brushes with this pack. That's all I got to say about it. If you can't find a detail brush in here that you can use, I don't know what to tell you. You probably aren't going to find it anywhere. So that is my opinion on this. So I hope you guys like this review. Let me know down below if you've even heard of this company, if you have their brushes. I think they're a good value. I've bought some on my own, as I've stated, and I will continue to buy them on my own, and I hope that they still partner with me so I can bring these reviews to you folks. All right, guys, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.